You guys, we have got to talk about this insane situation that is going on with the Beckham family. They're getting exposed. No more perfect family because Brooklyn Beckham has come out to expose his parents and talk about things that his parents have done behind the scenes, things that they've done to sabotage his relationship. There's so much being said. We are going to get into everything being said. Truly, this Beckham family drama was something that I never saw coming, at least not on a Monday. Brooklyn came out to talk about his parents like we've never seen before. And for years now, there has been speculation that his wife, Nicola, and his mom, Victoria, didn't get along. But alas, here we are with full confirmation as Brooklyn accuses his parents of trying to sabotage his relationship with Nicola. At the end of last month, we saw Cruz Beckham come out on Instagram to speak out on the media claiming that his parents, Victoria and David, unfollowed Nicola and Brooklyn on Instagram. The Daily Mail originally said, David and Victoria Beckham unfollow estranged son Brooklyn, 26, as it's revealed he'll spend Christmas with wife Nicola Peltz's billionaire parents amid family feud. And his brother put this on his Instagram story and said, "Not true. My mom and dad would never unfollow their son. Let's get the facts straight. They woke up blocked, as did I." And now this week we have Brooklyn coming out to accuse his parents of a number of things. Sabotaging his wedding, accusing Nicola of controlling him, controlling their family narrative in the press, faking this family life. He accused his own mother of dancing on him inappropriately at his own wedding and claimed that she sabotaged his first dance with Nicola. And he was so embarrassed and uncomfortable, amongst a number of other things. I mean, when I say he said a lot, you guys. He wrote, "I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak up for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. Recently, I've seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people, to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out." Brooklyn and Nicola started dating in 2019, and by 2022 they were married. And according to a source close to Nicola's family, tensions between her and Victoria began with disagreements over her wedding dress. The source said that Victoria had offered to design her gown, and Nicola was initially happy with the idea, but things changed as planning went on. And the insider claimed that Victoria stopped prioritizing making the dress and eventually called Nicola's mother, not Nicola, to say that she wasn't actually going to be designing the dress for her wedding. And it left Nicola in a position of having to find another designer to make her dress very last minute. And it was this whole situation where, once it came out that she wasn't wearing a dress by Victoria at her wedding, people were calling Nicola a brat. Even though she's worn her clothing before at public events and stuff, people were just like, "Oh, she's not wearing it. She must not like her. They're not getting along." All of this stuff. And Brooklyn this week actually seemed to confirm that it was true that there was drama with the wedding dress, because he put on his Instagram story, "My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress at the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Weeks before our big day, my parents reportedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny, Sandra, and Nicola's nanny at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this summer. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance to a romantic love song. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where in the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife. But instead my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that brings us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. Which, him bringing up this wedding dance actually confirms a Dumois blind item from 2022, which Dumois reposted on Monday after Brooklyn came to Instagram to say all of this stuff. And the original blind item was, Peltz Beckham wedding. Here's the tea from the Beckham Peltz wedding. Mark Anthony sang at the wedding and held a speech. The speech was the most awkward thing as he did not mention Nicola or her family at all. He then dedicated a song to Victoria Beckham and Brooklyn which set Nicola off. She literally ran out crying and her entire family went after her. When the mom and son dance ended, Brooklyn ran directly outside. They did not come back until the after party. Nicola's acting coach and stylist were the only ones that held a speech for her. There was noticeable tension. The Beckhams didn't really interact with Nicola or her family. I'm editing the video right now and I'm popping in to say that Nicola and Brooklyn recently renewed their vows. And it seems like, there's been a lot of discussion about Victoria and David not being there. And I feel like this is maybe one of the reasons why Brooklyn wanted to come out and speak out, because there has been a lot said about the fact that they weren't there. And I think he just wanted to be like, this is why they weren't there. My parents tried to ruin my relationship. They tried to ruin my wedding. I didn't want them there. We renewed our vows because we wanted to have something for just us since our day was ruined. So I think that's why all of this is happening. Now, later on Instagram, Brooklyn ended up calling out the fact that his family has not been kind to Nicola, and that his mom has invited women from his past around them to make them uncomfortable. He wrote, "My wife has been consistently disrespected by my family, no matter how hard we've tried to come together as one. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. Despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. He refused all of our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. It was a slap in the face. Later, when my family traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. He was basically saying that his family cared more about looking like the perfect family than anything, and that it is just not how he wants to be living life. As he says, my family values public promotion and endorsement above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and post for a family photo op, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. We've gone out of our way for years to show up and support at every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. So, from all of this, it's clear at the moment that he does not want to reconcile with his family and just wanted to speak out on everything him and Nicola have had to deal with since the beginning of their relationship. And clearly he just wanted to tell the general public that him and his family, don't put them together as one. It's not as perfect as his parents are trying to make it out to be, and he just wanted everybody to know, there is some drama there. And I'm wondering what the case is here. If it's, his parents wanted to be this perfect family in the press, and then when he got in the relationship with Nicola, she, opened his eyes to not having to play pretend, and he started to change and maybe not listen to his parents' demands. And then, him doing his own thing, his parents were like, we don't like her. He's changing you. She's having you step outside of, this perfect family image. And they're, blaming her so they don't like her. And since his parents don't like her, he's mad at them. What's really got me intrigued is this whole wedding dance thing, her dancing on him inappropriately. I'm like, what are we talking? She tried to grind on you, or what are we talking about? There's a lot of things that I have questions about. A lot of other people have questions too. Everyone has been talking about this story in the last 24 hours since he decided to come out and share this Beckham family news. But I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this, how you feel about the Beckham family, what you think about what Brooklyn had to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.